Welcome into the 11 Alert Desk. I'm Jessica Mendoza. This is Corey Roldan, and we are just getting ready for our bracket breakdown show starting here hopefully at 5 o'clock. It's going to be after this elite game coming up on KKTV. Both games being played right here only on Channel 11 this week, or today, excuse me. So Corey, we have a lot to talk about, some fun games so far. I know before we want to get to the Elite Eight though, you want to talk about something that we saw in the Sweet 16.
As Justin Timberlake once said, what goes around comes back around. And while we have a lot of chalk, right, maybe the first time since 2008 that it's all one seeds, an interesting trend right here. Texas Tech and Arkansas. The Razorbacks had a huge lead against Texas Tech. They blew it, and the Red Raiders won. Now let's fast forward until Saturday. Texas Tech had a huge lead against Florida, and the Gators come back. Does that mean the winner of Auburn and Michigan State is going to come back in Florida? What goes around comes back around. It is still madness, although it is chalk, Jess.
And Corey, I know you wanted to talk about this game specifically right here from the Sweet 16. An incredible ending to this.
So we just saw Houston go to their first Final Four in a long time, but do they even get there without the brilliance of Kelvin Sampson's play design? 2 seconds left, the inbound play. You draw a man out to the three-point line, and it frees up the inbounder for an easy dunk. And then the Cougars get a dominating goodbye Rocky Top. See you later, Old Tennessee.
Yeah, that game was over pretty much when it started. Let's go ahead and get to those Elite 8 games if we can get there. And we're going to start with our first game from yesterday. That was Florida and Texas Tech. That was an incredible game as well, too. The Red Raiders, they had a 10-point lead late in this game, but then Florida, the Gators, they came rumbling back. Congrats to our news director, who is a huge Florida Gators fan, and Josh Barlow. Corey, what did you think about this game?
So I'm not a Florida fan. I'm an LSU fan.
I do know that.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But Texas Tech had a great game plan. They were going inside, but Florida's shooting in their clutch play late. This is a veteran basketball team that knows how to make the critical plays. They've been impressive all year. SEC champions for the SEC tournament. They got hot at the right time. They can win it all, honestly.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with Walter Clayton Jr.
Yes.
He was absolutely the star of the game with 30 points, and he was the reason they were ultimately able to come back.
And he hit that really the game-sealing play with 30 seconds left. The step-back three, almost an NBA play.
And the shot to tie it as well, and they never led after that. All right, let's go to yesterday's game. This was a wire-to-wire win for Duke. Duke, pretty dominant, I would say, for the Blue Devils. Over an Alabama team that was steamrolling other teams. I thought this was going to be a lot closer of a game.
You talked about Bama, hit 25 threes, an NCAA record against BYU. Great basketball team, made the Final Four last year, but Cooper Flagg is becoming not only one of the all-time great freshmen, one of the all-time great Duke. He's entering the Christian Laettner, the J.J. Reddicks, the Grant Hill names. If they continue to play like this, they're my favorite to win the national championship.
Isn't it so college basketball that Alabama would go from having such a red-hot game shooting from three and then just go ice cold in the next biggest game?
You know what's funny about these two teams, though, Jess?
What's that?
Both of them pull for Alabama football during the fall.
I love it. Another thing about Duke and Cooper Flagg, though, he's been playing great all tournament long, but I would say this was probably his least great offensive performance, and his teammates really stepped up, so that's what's giving me a lot of confidence that the Blue Devils might be the national champions.
But he also affects the game just besides scoring, right? He's a great passer, he's a good rebounder, and he's an underrated defender. He's a complete basketball player, which is why I like Cooper Flagg so much.
All right, let's go to the game that just wrapped up on KKTV. We got Houston and Tennessee. This was going to be a dog battle because we knew that these were the two of the best defensive teams in the country, and Houston dominated. Like I said, this game felt like it was over from the very beginning. They led by 22 points at one point, and Tennessee only got within like 9, I think, late in the second half.
Yeah, just Houston's a better basketball team. They're rolling. They deserve it. They've been a 1 seed. We talk about, Virginia in the past, Villanova in the past. What teams can get over that hump? Could that be Houston this year, finally getting over the hump after being a 1 seed, losing early in the NCAA tournament so many times?
So just now the Bulls shot 28% from the field, 17% from three. So huge credit to Houston and their defense there.
Any predictions?
Yes, I do. I actually have Michigan State beating Auburn, the #1 overall seed in this tournament. What do they say about Izzo in March, Corey? I know
It's the month
April.
of Izzo. It is the month of Izzo. And one of my favorite quotes from Tom Izzo is like, he's going to make another run in this tournament or die trying. He said that last year. He's the all-time winningest coach in Big Ten history. But I feel like Auburn, coming into this tournament, they were my champion because I felt like they were the most talented team, most veteran team. Broomby is an incredible basketball player. They got good guard play, and guard play wins in March. I still think Auburn's going to win.
Okay, well, you and I disagree. We're going to have to see who's right. We'll be talking all about that on Bracket Breakdown coming up at hopefully 5 o'clock or right after this game wraps up on KKTV. Aaron, do we have any questions in the chat or anything that people are talking about that they want to say? Not at the moment? Okay, well, make sure to tune into Bracket Breakdown at 5 o'clock. Corey, anything else you want to say just about what we've seen so far in this tournament?
It might be all chalk, but we're still going to see some madness. Ratings are up, and then first time we can get all 4 1 seeds since 2008 when we had a great national championship between Kansas and Memphis. Derrick Rose taking on Mario Chalmers.
All right, okay, Corey, thank you so much, and thank you all for joining us. We'll see you after this game coming up on KKTV around 5 o'clock. Thanks for joining us.
I am such a nerd.
That was good.
I don't know, like I just thought about that.